Okay, so welcome back. This is the third video in our problem. We did a production budget, a direct materials budget, and now we're going to do a direct labor budget for this company called Girod Manufacturing. Now, if you've made it through the direct materials budget, which was the second video, that's the most difficult one. Production budget's not too terribly bad. And direct labor oftentimes will be the easiest of the three. Okay, so we had all of our projected sales units. Okay, and we actually used that to make a quick sales budget, and we came up with a production budget and all that good stuff. But now we need to do our direct labor budget. All right, our direct labor budget right here, number 3. So what do we need to know? It says that the finished product requires, and I'm going to skip over to the direct labor, 10 hours of direct labor per unit. So every unit that is produced requires 10 hours of direct labor. Okay? Most of this, the rest of this information here, you're welcome to take a screenshot of this as we go if you don't have a physical handout in front of you. We're going to skip down to requirement C because we've already done A and B. And it says prepare a direct labor budget assuming a $12 per hour rate for the month of February, March, and April. Now our raw materials changed for each of those months. We don't have to deal with that for our direct labor budget, and quite honestly, even if we did, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Okay, so I want you to keep these two figures in mind, jot them down. Each unit requires 10 hours of direct labor at a rate of $12 per hour. Okay, and you see we have our production budget here. Then what we did in the second video was we calculated our direct materials budget, and I put a line here to kind of separate them, but we were using let's see, I put the line in the wrong place. Looks like this line should have gone up a little bit higher, but we started here with our raw materials, and we finished up with totals for needs in both pounds and also raw materials. So you are welcome to watch that video. But now we need to, when we're doing the direct labor budget, we're going to need for each of these months, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just write them down again: February, March, and April. Okay, what we're going to be using to start off with here, make sure that we can see all of this, hopefully, we're actually going to need these production units. Okay, so I'm just going to write this down here again. See, it was 400 for March and 300 units for the month of April. Okay, and we know that the direct labor hours per unit equals 10 hours. Okay. They gave us that in the question. So all we have to do is just multiply by 10. That's nice and easy. So for the month of February, we are going to require 9,000 direct labor hours. For the month of March, we're going to require 4,000 direct labor hours. And for the month of April, we are going to require 3,000 direct labor hours. Okay, so pretty simple so far. Then we need to account for our direct labor rate, which is $12. And that was true all the way across. All right. So very, very simply, all we have to do now, told you this was going to be a lot easier, is take our number of direct labor hours, which for the month of February is 9,000, and multiply that by the hourly rate. And we're going to come up with $108,000 for our direct labor cost. Okay, that's one of our answers. This video is not too long, so we'll just go ahead and do all of these. 4,000 direct labor hours in the month of March times $12 per hour. And finally, 3,000 direct labor hours in the month of April times that same $12 hourly rate, $36,000. And again, this is our direct labor cost. Whoops, let me move that up a little bit. This is our direct labor cost for each of these months. We don't have to really budget so much the total hours. I mean, that could be a requirement, but primarily what we're talking about here is the direct labor cost. These numbers up here are important for staffing. Okay, but this is what it's ultimately going to cost us as a component of the product's total cost. All right, you made it through it.